hit that button, and then
Boo! We're live,
we'll hit that
baby.
button, and we'll just say that we were just talking about how Norton, which is a semantic product, is the worst antivirus product
Actually,
because it's a resource hog.
you know, cement. They were bought by LifeLock, so it's
Um,
now Norton slash LifeLock,
okay, I'm still not
and one of
impressed.
the packages includes, the Norton antivirus and this and this and this and this, and that LifeLock service to protect your identity, so your social security number doesn't get
Well,
stolen. And
I'm just going to interrupt you for a moment to open the
yeah,
show because we're doing the thing here that we call
Insert title here.
the show that
and
changes
I'm
names.
punching in the air for no real reason.
Punch the air because we're excited because the show is here, and I looked at the shirt this morning and I thought to myself, surely this is a great shirt to wear during the show and nothing can go wrong. And then I started up and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The green letters don't work well with the green screen effect. So
And actually, because you're like twice the size of a postage stamp, I really can't see that.
yeah. Well, the big bois on my shirt is see-through, basically. So it's like there's a hole in the middle of my chest in the shape of a bois, and which is okay.
So it says moi.
It says bois. Actually, it says bois, which is a quote attributed to me that I never actually said, except for.
Great. Okay,
and yes, I did still have to buy the T-shirt, even though it's a quote attributed to me that I never actually said.
dang,
So,
you should be making money on that T-shirt, right?
yeah, well, actually, I think Liam put the store together for the NHB show, and it was Liam who attributed the quote "bois" as part of his impersonation of me, and it became a kind of a catchphrase on their show for Liam to do this version of me that says "bois" all the time. And,
Even though you have never said it,
well,
not even now.
well, I say it all the time ever since he started it, but he didn't get that from me.
Well, right?
I'm doing an impersonation of him doing an impersonation of me when I say "bois," and that's what that is. If that makes any sense. But the funny thing is,
total sense, right?
the funny thing is that like Liam set up this store, and there was something set up that people started placing orders. And then he had to like pay for the shirts before the payments came through. So Liam actually had to like take money out of his pocket to send me the shirt before he got the money back. That I sent. So PayPal made out real good on that deal. But yeah, that's my bois shirt right there. But no, we were here. OX64 right again. Oh no. The interruptions are back.
Yay! Thanks, man. I love you too.
Everybody loves Brian,
More punching in the air for no apparent reason.
Yeah. But Brian was talking about how he renewed his semantic Norton LifeLock.
Not exactly. Not renewed.
For free.
There was a pop-up for an upgrade to the Norton utility, part of what I subscribed
to. Would tie up your system resources more efficiently?
Likely.
Yeah.
But that's the utility part. We wanted to talk about just mentioned, the antivirus capability of Norton versus other products, right?
Right.
In fact, I got sick and tired of AVG. You could get the free version, but once you went for the paid subscription, they fuck you over. Not only keep asking for more money, and want you to be scheduled to give them more money, but they keep popping up ads all the fucking time. Well, I don't want your fucking ads. I'm sick of this.
Well,
I go to Norton because Comcast dropped it. And it says, well, you're going to have to get a paid version now. So this is okay. There was a special deal for Comcast people. So I got
Special
that.
deal.
And it's
Okay,
popping up
Nixon.
ads. And, oh, by the way, you can upgrade all the time. And I
Yeah.
ignored getting the upgrades because I don't want to buy anything else. I'm at a basic level. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But, so I finally hit yes. And no, they didn't want me to pay more money. Well, hot damn.
You clicked yes, and they stopped asking for money. Of course.
Well,
now,
they didn't ask for money on that.
Right.
Okay. Now they'll probably be asking me to upgrade
Well, that's
the
because
service.
you clicked yes on the spyware that they're going to use to collect your data to sell off to all the other entities.
Like they didn't have all this spyware out there with Google and Facebook and you name it, right? They're all fucking spying on us. I mean, just Google for the word toilet, and damn, you get all these outfits that are selling toilets.
Well, Brian, let me ask you something, and I'm trying to figure this out. How long has it been since the topic of the rivalry between David Letterman and Jay Leno has been relevant news at all?
Forever. I mean, it's been a long time, right?
Yes. So it's not exactly anything that you would have breaking news or headlines that would just show up randomly in your feed. But what every now and then, I have movies that I've downloaded to a folder, and every now and then it's fun to pull up a few things and look at, some funny scenes or whatever. And so one of the movies I have on my computer is The Late Shift, which was that I believe it was made for cable TV. It was not a theatrical production. That was about the whole Letterman, Leno, Johnny Carson thing, and it's a great movie. If for anything, it's a great movie for the impersonations of Letterman and Leno that they got somewhat lookalikes to do. It's mildly amusing to watch these impersonations.
Yeah.
So I'd opened a film to watch a few scenes of this guy who's obviously not David Letterman acting like David Letterman with a fake gap between his teeth and all that stuff, and the Leno lookalike with the fake chin added on, and later that evening, I'm sitting down in the toilet to take a dump, and I pull out my phone. And I swipe.
Of course, that's the best place to do it, right?
And I swipe towards the left, and I'm scrolling through like what articles would be interesting to read while I'm taking this, big poopy shit. And an article about Dave Letterman and Jay Leno shows up there, and I'm like, how did they? Clearly, my phone somehow is spying on me and knows that I had that movie open on my computer and decide to target a article so that they could then throw targeted ads within that.
In fact, when was the article published?
I don't know. That's the thing, is that a lot of articles that here's the thing. If you read one Beatles article, every time you scroll through the articles on your phone, there'll be like 20 Beatles articles. And then you start to notice that the dates on them are like 10 to 20 years old because they're just going through backlogs of old articles that they'll throw in there. I have at least once been sitting on the toilet and scrolling through, and I see an article, and I'm like, well, that's mildly interesting. And then I hover the finger, and I stop, and I think to myself, do I want to see 20 other articles on the same topic next week? And if the answer is no, I don't click, and I keep scrolling.
Now, what browser are you using? Are you using Chrome?
On my phone, I use Chrome. But it's not Chrome that I'm looking at the articles in. It's on my Droid phone. If I swipe all the way to the left, there's just automatically a feed of articles there under.
I'm sorry. Border. You said Google phone?
Droid.
Well, but that's a Google product.
No, this phone is made by LG.
But Android is a Google product.
Android is Android.
It's a Google product.
Is Android a Google product? Let's see what the internet says. The Android operating system was developed by Google for use in all of its... But this isn't a Google phone.
That doesn't matter.
But, yeah, I guess... I don't consider this... I don't consider Android on its own strictly Google, but it is manufactured.
No, but it is a Google
it's more of an open
product.
source
They're
type
gonna
of thing,
have
isn't
their
it?
spy shit in there. We don't need to wait for Russians to spy on us. We got Google to do it for them.
Well, yeah.
Or we have Facebook to do that for them.
But anyways, so that was that. I just sometimes I notice things in my news feed that are things that I said out loud and didn't search for, and everything swears that they don't use your microphone. But every time they say that, I can think of a few examples that it seems like it would have had to have used the microphone to get that.
Sure. So also, since you're out there pooping with your device, you need to get something to put over the microphone on your phone or tablet.
Well, at least they have a poop filter because they
You
never
ran out of things to talk about.
Well, last week towards the
I
end.
need to take an absence about once a month so you can come to a point where you've run out of things to talk about because I haven't interrupted you. Right, everybody?
Moving right along.
That was a joke.
So OX64 writes in Google or ABC, or I mean Alphabet Inc. And speaking of Alphabet Inc., whose advertisements are popping up when you bring up the Twitch channel?
Oh, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to get our banner ad out. We gotta
absolutely.
We gotta support the people
that
are giving Twitch money, and
I'm
that we're not seeing a
behind
dime
the 8
of.
ball. Let's
Behind
keep Twitch going.
The 8 ball.
Watch this. There'll be no ad this week.
Yeah. That's okay. Last week, it was brought to you by an advertisement that Mars couldn't determine what it was from the audio alone. So we just put it on the ticker, brought to you by an advertisement that's not blind friendly.
Okay. What is this ad? Lots of cool scenery and stuff. A guy in a spacesuit. What story can you? The Great Untold.
The Great Untold?
Do you know what that is?
I
is
don't
it a movie?
know. I don't know.
Son of a bum.
All right. Brought to you by The Great Untold.
Great. Actually, maybe Wikipedia will tell us.
We'll just go ahead and we'll turn that ticker on. And there we go. And 5 Fit Dune is here. Wow, I come in and Brian is ripping J-Man. I sent a pic for your title. Let's take a look. Let's see.
Oops. I better get there before that's gone.
I
Did
see
you
no
pull the
picture.
pic up yet?
No, I don't see any pictures.
Okay.
My filter must have caught that.
Why did it come up with Scott Matthews?
Scott Matthews? OX640, and I got a stupid ad. Twitch done changed their shit and disabled my plugin or something. I still did get an ad when I loaded Twitch, but maybe it doesn't show me ads on my own channel.
This is a musician.
A musician? The Great Untold?
No. The Scott Matthews.
Scott Matthews. Isn't that the Wendy's guy?
I don't know.
No, that's Dave Thomas.
He's a guitar player.
Okay.
Plays at the.
Oh, I guess The Great Untold is a song or an album by Scott Matthews. Yeah, it's a Scott Matthews album. Okay, but is that what it was advertising?
No, at least I don't think so. I mean, who makes videos anymore, right? Music videos.
Everyone. MTV still plays like an hour of videos in the morning before everyone wakes up. I remember I was like, MTV doesn't play videos anymore. And then Gothard was like, no, there were these dudes going around on treadmills this morning. It was just like the 80s again. And then next thing you know, they were a music video sensation all over the internet. Of course, that's going back a few decades now. But they still show some videos in a small block of time in the morning, as far as I know, unless they've even stopped that. So yeah, people still make music videos. They just upload them to YouTube now.
Right.
But
there's the great unfolding, and there's the great. Okay, so yeah. DuckDuckGo says the great untold, exploring untold stories around the.
Okay, all right. So Dune sent me a picture. He wants me to show it. So apparently, there's this T-shirt you can get. 2 coins, 3 buttons, a crap load of wood equals Johnny is wrong. So there you go. Yeah, because 2 coins, 3 buttons, and a crap load of wood totally equals pirate's treasure.
Oh, it's my buddy. My buddy.
That's no buddy of mine.
I know, man.
I see that guy, I'm punching him right in the face.
Oh, man, he's a youper.
He's a bullshit artist is what he is.
No, he isn't. Hey, he got the History Channel to fork out the bucks.
Exactly. He's a bullshit artist. Only a bullshit artist.
And it claims to be a super popular show on the History Channel.
He is a bullshit artist that got everyone excited over treasure, and somehow people are not realizing that they've been duped into thinking 2 coins, 3 buttons, and a crap load of wood over the course of 7 years.
What's the interesting thing? Okay, so what the interesting thing is, this last season was a shortened season by about 2 months because of COVID, right?
It wasn't short enough.
Hang on.
The treasure was COVID. That was the treasure. They found COVID in the muddy pit and unleashed it on the world. It didn't come from China. It didn't come from Wuhan.
No. The treasure is getting people to buy the episodes that they just missed.
The treasure was the friends that we made along the way. That is bullshit right there if I ever heard it.
Okay. So anyway, so the last episode, they said this season we have uncovered 700 artifacts.
Well, if you take a board of wood, you could
700 artifacts. They only showed literally a handful. Some ox.
700 potential artifacts.
Oxen shoe. I mean, it's an artifact. It ain't worth anything. Wood. Right. Some buttons. Some old jewelry type item. They found a coin. I mean, there's nothing really exciting because you kind of go, where did the hell that come from? Give me some detail on it, and they're a little bit shaky on it. They even speculate on where things come from. Yeah, right. I mean, is it bullshit? Sure.
Yes, that is my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, but what isn't bullshit? Politics is fucking bullshit. Right? We don't even have to go there. We can just agree, yep, it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Right? So, hey, what the hell? And then we all die. Right?
There is that.
Yeah.
I've still got a Woody Woodpecker.
That's
holy mackerel. And that is not bullshit. Right?
That is not bullshit. That's just wood.
Exactly.
I've still got a Woody Woodpecker.
That's hilarious.
That's not the one I was really looking for, though.
Yeah. And you kind of go, wait a minute. How did that cartoon character get through the censors? Woody Woodpecker. Wait a second. No, you're going to have to change the name. You know, like Schitt's Creek couldn't get a place even on cable. It had to be Netflix that picked it up. And then, of course, once they won all these Emmys and shit, then, everybody that used to play The Big Bang Theory or Seinfeld or whatever is now playing it. Of course, they bleep out the F-bombs.
He said morning wood.
Morning wood.
Yeah, morning wood. Absolutely.
Kind of racy, but I have to agree it is a bit of a mystery. Okay, I'll approve your idea about morning wood, but only if you take it seriously, okay? And approach your topic from a scientific standpoint.
Hey, Beavis, if we discover the mystery of morning wood, we will be famous the world over.
And that is what started the first season of The Mystery of Oak Island, as two guys went looking for morning wood.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That right there is how it all started. So anyways,
although I forget which brother it was, either Marty or Rick, said, "I'm sick of finding wood." Dude, that's what we're looking for.
No
that
one
is the main
wants
thing.
morning wood. It just happens. You get up in the morning, you look in the hole. Oh my God!
And when you drill a hole in the earth, you will find wood. You will find wood because that's where the treasure is going to be associated with that wood.
So, Private 2 running in. Did you just say COVID did not come from Wuhan? I said it as part of a joke about Oak Island. I didn't say it as a scientific
you
statement.
said that? I totally missed that.
I said that, it came from the muddy pit on Oak Island. That was the treasure, was COVID. So that's what I said right there. If you want to take that seriously,
the interesting thing,
as some kind of scientific,
what difference does it make if it came from Wuhan?
Well,
actually, there's good evidence that it came maybe from Wuhan, but went to Italy, and Italy got it to the U.S.
Well, that's all for
but
the
here's
doctors and the scientists to study.
Here is a bigger mystery.
I don't
care and I think
really.
I have the answer to it, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So when we had the first case of COVID out, in a very short time, it was in all 50 states. How did that happen? Was that because truck drivers trucked it around?
Well,
is it because of
I'm not a scientist
that brought it around? Hang on. Or is it because it was sprayed on us with the chemtrails?
Brian, we're not that kind of show.
Right. Holy shit, what did this guy just say?
I think they had barrels of it in the basement of a pizza joint, and then they loaded it onto the plane to make the chemtrails.
Yes. You got it. I don't know, Dune, what do you think of that?
And then according to QAnon, any day now, Trump's gonna bring everything down and reinstate himself as president and arrest all the liberals for all their crimes about holding children in wardrobes and basements. That is not at all a serious statement. That's a commentary pro or anti anything. So
yes,
chill.
Right. And I don't even know what half of that means.
And I wish I didn't know what half of that means. So... it's the whole, you got to feel bad for the people that devote their lives into believing lies on the internet. And then it's kind of like the guy that predicts that the world is going to end with judgment and death and destruction on a certain date. And the problem with that strategy is eventually the date comes and the thing doesn't happen.
And nothing happens, yeah.
And you're still around looking like an idiot, caught with his pants down around his ankles the day after.
Right. Like, wait a second, I have to redo the calculation. I like these guys that are numerologists.
It's like I think I carried a 1 where I shouldn't have, and I think the real date's out a few more years. Please send your donations to.
Right,
dude.
because
it's over. It's over, dude. It's over.
Yeah, because we need to pay these guys that are doing the actual calculation. Right?
So, anyways,
just like we need to pay for all these guys that are working on Oak Island. Send us your money and watch our episodes and watch our advertisers, just like we do, right? The Great Untold, whatever that is. We don't even know what it is.
So, OX64 writing in lies on the internet? That is an outright lie. There are no lies on the internet.
Well, I mean, hey, it's all based on statistics, right? And they know that 73.4% of the statistics that are quoted are made up on the spot.
You went too low that time. Yeah. Usually I'm somewhere in the 80s, but you got to throw in a 70s statistic every now and then just to keep people on their toes.
I know it.
But actually, I read a very interesting article today. Now, mind you, I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, but it actually went into the whole difference between airborne and and there was like a whole big misunderstanding between the different between airborne and whatnot.
What was whatnot? Give me a clue.
I'm trying to remember the terminologies, but I don't have the article in front of me, and I'm not going to do it any justice unless I bring up my history and find that damn article.
Are we talking about COVID? Are we talking about COVID?
Well, it's about more than just COVID, but more along the lines of scientists and medical community. And
infectious diseases,
infectious viruses, and how they transmit, and the airborne and the
contact, bloodborne.
Not bloodborne. That wasn't part of it. It was more along the lines of there was this scientific fact that everyone was assuming without even realizing it that actually turned out to be wrong. And it took quite a bit of doing to dig into where did that come from and why are people just shutting us down when we try to point out the flaw in that. And it actually got to the point where it's now becoming more accepted. Let me see if I can find my history here. Where is history? I made the I decided to give Firefox another try today because since I have a new Windows installation, that means that if I installed Firefox, it'd be a brand new clean installation, and it's been a while since I've had a new installation of Firefox, and so I migrated all my Chrome stuff over and was using it today, and it was working out good, but now I know where to go into Chrome to see my history. I don't know where to go into this to see my history.
Because you forget. Because you're getting old. Or something.
So we'll do a Google search for Firefox history. Where is it? Let's see. Firefox history from the aptly named history menu on OS X. I don't care about OS X. Who cares about using Firefox on OS X? I don't want to delete it. I want to view it. I want to search it. Where's my...
I know it. Don't you hate it? Now
Google Chrome just has a thing you click on, and there's all your history. It's right there. Let's see. So click the library button. Right? Where's the library button? Okay. Oh, so I got to click a bunch of vertical lines, and then history is there. Okay. Recent history, manage history. Okay. This looks like something. Okay.
Is the library under the main button? Where the fuck is it?
It's between the book button and the down arrow button. Let's see. Pictures of Studio 54, eBay searches, Electra label variations, PayPal checkout, Atlantic Records, sign into your account, Fred Rogers SoundCloud, let's see, Discogs vinyl checkout, shopping cart, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can't find it. I wasn't going to talk about this today. So I didn't. Oh, here we go. The 60-year-old scientific screw up that helped COVID kill. Yeah, that's not at all a what's the click? That's not at all clickbait. Um, let's see if I can find a general gist of things. It goes into a lot of detailed stuff.
Right.
But it kind of goes into, there was this definition of droplet that if it's a 5 micron or higher droplet, it's not airborne. It'll just kind of drop down. And so, viruses that it transmitted in more than a 5 micron droplet, it was kind of considered, a recommendation was keep 6 feet distance, wash your hands, and you'll be fine. But then people were like, well, hold on a second. Where did that 5 micron thing come from? And whenever people were kind of questioning, like, well, it's airborne, they would get shut down. Like, no, it's 5 micron. It'll drop. Wash your hands. You're good. And that's me paraphrasing quite a bit. So let me post the link in the chat. And if people want to click on it and read it, they could do that. And I don't know. I did not fact check this. I didn't. I'm not a scientist, but I thought it was a very interesting read. Sparky Toast already again. Come on, Johnny. Thought you were the IT guy in this room. Yes, and I just demonstrated what happens behind the scenes is I Google for the answer, and then I call the person with all the answers and act like I knew that for like 20 years. OX64, McDonald's needs to access your camera, photos, media, and files on your device. WTF.
McDonald's does?
That's every app. Any phone app you open it, it's like, we need to access your camera, your photos, and your media. And it's like, sure. Why not? I got to scroll back a bit. We've missed a lot of messages. Amplitude modulation, AM stiffness, came from everywhere. People travel in planes. It's not rocket science. Well, no, it's plane science is what it is. It's
right.
OX going, it came from Big Pharma as a disguised news disease. And then we
Big
got
Pharma and Wuhan, right?
Like the ice caps had 10 years and 20. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dune. And because that's what we were talking about.
The ice caps, how did this... What?
And no, I am not using Edge. I'm not really all that big on the Edge.
Using Edge.
Edge.
Oh, God. That's the worst thing on the planet.
Well, Edge is not a bad thing. It's just...
it's dumbed down.
Well, I have an immediate aversion to anything that someone's trying to influence me to use. And when Microsoft sets it as the default, and when Microsoft nags you when you try to turn it off as a default, that makes me go, oh, hell the fuck no, I am never using this thing. So, that's just my, immediate reaction. If someone wants me to do something, I'm going to not do it. But going back to the real topic, as Sparky Toaster asked, so Johnny, can you discuss your abundance of attic wires? And is there any update to getting your tone arm?
Wicked!
The second time around.
The real topics.
The real topic. Well,
that everybody wants to know about.
As I detailed last week, I abandoned the idea of getting another tone arm, and I instead just bought a brand new turntable and paid someone to put on the cartridge and align it. And I picked it up during last week.
Did you have to... Wait, you paid a guy to install it?
Yeah, well, I paid $900 for the turntable, and I paid $100 for him to install the cartridge on the new turntable I bought.
Wow, and this is the guy that you bought it from?
Right.
Wow.
Well, it comes with a cartridge already on it, but I have my own cartridge, and installing my cartridge on there means, adjusting the arm height and the overhang and everything. And I felt that it was worth paying a guy to do that to make sure it gets done right, because I'm buying a brand new, really decent turntable.
I get that. It kind of sucks that
yeah.
If you bought the cartridge from him, he would have put that on for free?
Probably, but I brought my own cartridge in the door, and
right,
so,
so that's how he nailed your ass.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so I and then I got the shelf on the wall and moved the rack over. And the problem is that with the rack over there, and so you see the rack was over there, which is against the outer wall that the window is on. So running wires along that wall is no big deal. And the computer and the TV are there. So I had wires going from the rack over to the computer and to the TV and to the speakers in front. But now that I got the rack over here, the door to get into the bedroom is between is past the rack on that wall. And so that means that the front speakers, if I ran speaker wires around there, they would cross the doorway. Now, I could run the speaker wires all the way around the room over to there, but I thought it might make more sense to run the speaker wire up the walls into the attic and down into the closet and out through the wall behind the rack, and that would be much less wire. And getting into that wall is pretty easy. That wall is not... does not have a bunch of extra supports in it. I've had no problems getting wires through that wall, and getting up to the attic, not a huge deal. And now that wall, running more wires into, I didn't want to do, but there's a closet behind that wall, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just drill a hole in the ceiling of the closet. Who cares if there's a hole in the ceiling of the closet and a hole through the wall that goes right into the closet? And I'll just drop the wires down into the closet and come out the wall. And I bought those types of like wall plates that have like a hole that cuts away on the top so that you can just fish wires right into the wall and have a nice fancy plate that it goes into. And I put those behind the two speakers, and I put one near the computer, and I put a plate in behind the TV so that I could, wire a power outlet in there and run the HDMI cables through there. So I got two HDMI cables running through the attic because I have an HDMI cable going from the receiver to the TV, and I got an HDMI cable going from the computer to the receiver. And I've got a DisplayPort to HDMI cable running from the computer to behind the TV as well. So yeah, I brought wires all over this room this past weekend. And now I found out that my newer video card on my computer doesn't handshake nicely with my Denon receiver and Samsung TV, because of course it doesn't, because Denon receivers can't fucking handle a fucking three-way handshake over HDMI. So if I want to get sound out of my receiver from my computer, I have to disconnect the HDMI cable that goes to the TV. Because fuck you, Denon. That's why. But yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought you bought a new, was it Marantz?
Yeah, but that's the downstairs receiver where I put in all the ceiling speakers in the living room.
And it just can't send the signal up to this other room. And you can't control it remotely.
Well, no. I wouldn't... I mean, it is a multi-zone receiver, but it's not a well, I'm using all the channels for the Atmos in the downstairs because I have 9 speakers in the living room. So it's using all 9 channels of the receiver. So even if I were to use the Marantz with a multi-zone that I'd set up zone 2 to be in this room, I'd still have to have a dedicated receiver in this room for amplification. One thing I learned, and I don't know if this is still current, but I had a friend online that was into quad, and he got like a big promotion, was kind of a hot shot, and so he bought a nice, beautiful house and was having it built. And so he was involved in designing the house and the layout, and he was very involved in working with the professional in the multi-zone sound system. And he had like a 4-zone system that 2 rooms were quad and 2 rooms were 5.1, and the speakers were built into the ceiling. And that wasn't even the serious listening room, because the serious listening room had its own standalone system with the turntable and the big fancy expensive speakers. This was
that's the way you got to do it.
And what he found was that they basically put a receiver in each room, and yeah, they tied them all together into one control system, but it was still easier and simpler to put a separate 5.1 receiver in each room, because back then you could still get 5.1 receivers. Nowadays, 7.1 is about as low as they go. So yeah,
you buy a used receiver.
yeah. Well, I mean, the receiver I have in this room, I've had for I had that since California. I think I bought it used. The receiver I replaced downstairs actually has a bit more power to it, so I'm probably going to swap this receiver out with that receiver. Although they're both the same age. So yeah, and Brian writes in, no interruptions this time because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe it's more accurate to say I couldn't think of what to interrupt you with.
But yeah, so for now, the Luxman turntable is sitting without a tone arm, with no plans to buy a tone arm for it, because it really makes more sense to just buy another turntable.
I'm sorry, did you return those other turn arms?
The tone, yeah, I did return the tone arm. eBay processed the return, gave me back a refund, and I haven't heard anything from the guy since.
Did you get any money back?
Yeah, I got it all back. eBay forced it.
Oh, sweet. He's probably pissed as hell.
Probably, but he hasn't told me.
Wasn't he offering like 50%?
Like he said, if you send me the arm, once I get it back, I'll give you half your money back. And I was like, fuck no, you won't do that. And now the thing is I would have, I feel that it would be reasonable.
Did you guys swap transaction reviews?
I keep checking for a negative feedback from him, but it hasn't shown up. Also, after I process the return,
have you done a review on him?
No.
So that's why he won't do a negative one, because you'll blast him with a negative, 5 million or something.
In fact, I wonder if eBay would even. I think eBay might disable the feedback once the transaction has been reversed. But the feedback's mostly...
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know. I haven't left feedback in a long time because I just don't have the time. I used to always leave a little positive feedback.
Yeah. I mean,
only one time did I leave negative. Only once did I leave negative feedback, and that story really shows how much eBay's changed.
Yeah, I'd rather not leave negative feedback.
It's amazing.
Sometimes some people use negative feedback when, if you just told me what the issue was, we could have corrected it. But no, instead you gave me negative feedback. So fuck you. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah. Now Dave Games writes in, well, either your couch is using green screen or your cat is getting ready to blast off into space, or maybe both. Yeah, I
didn't realize your cat was an astronaut.
Yeah, well, actually, she's she had some space sickness earlier today. Actually, I'm gonna bring this up because yes, I actually went to the trouble to find the video footage of this. Because my wife, she streams gaming during the day, and sometimes the cat will come in the background of the camera. And today, Shaniko came into the camera view and decided to leave a little present on the floor for my wife. And I found the point of the stream where that happened. So let's see, share screen. There we go. So here we go. You got to watch. The camera is in the upper right corner, and Kitty is kind of behind. I'm pointing with the finger there. And here, I'm going to hit play.
I'm pointing with the finger, too.
And Kitty's purling right now.
Oh, fuck.
And Kitty runs off.
Got a mail.
From time to time, you'll receive texts that fly.
Oh, I'm so glad the microphone was off for that. Anyway, I need to clean up
was
a
off?
mess.
Yeah.
We got the
it was the
F-bomb.
Glass Underground Cemetery, too. Okay, give me some time. I am actually going to go back to the AFK screen so I can clean this up because it's going to take a while.
And there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So there you go. She's now she is now puked live on stream. And hopefully there won't be a repeat.
Remember that guy
tonight.
that was what the hell was it? I think it was when the McRib was out. He ate a pile of those, and maybe there was a drink that he was going with it.
Shamrock Shake. Shamrock Shake.
It could have been, and he drinks he had so many that at the end of the video he barfed, and I was going to try to get him to come on our show
and barf McRibs with us.
Well, and talk about his experience.
Yeah,
hey, this guy's a one-trick pony.
See, I kept my McRibs down when I binged a bunch of McRibs on a show, and that was they brought back the McRibs.
You regretted it anyway, right?
Oh no, they were great.
What's your biggest count?
I think I ate 7 of them that day.
God damn.
Yeah. Well, what happened was they brought back the McRib, and that was back when the Addie and Gabe show was still on NHB. And so Gabe was like, I could eat like 10 of those. And so Addie bought 10 McRibs for the next week's show. And Gabe only made it through 6. So I said,
you have to top that, right?
So I said, I'm doing 7. And so I went out for my next show. I bought 7 McRibs, and it was not easy to eat 7 McRibs.
One of my favorite movies is Cool Hand Luke, where he just blurts out among his fellow prisoners, this is a prison story,
right,
that he could eat 50 eggs, hard-boiled eggs.
Right.
And he does it. Yay!
Well, no, I like the Jackass version of that, where they had 3 people that would also eat 50 hard-boiled eggs. The only difference between what they did and what Cool Hand Luke did was that when Jackass did it, puking was encouraged. And, yeah, there was a lot of that.
Now, was there betting on it? Because that was the thing about Cool Hand Luke. People were placing bets. That whether he'd puke or not.
I don't think there was any need to place bets because we all knew there was going to be a lot of puke.
Yeah, right. No one would vote in that direction of not puking.
No,
right?
no, puking was encouraged.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor cat. I think she's feeling better though. She hasn't puked since then and has been acting fine. And
do we know what do we know caused that?
No,
I mean,
no.
hey, cats can puke, right?
We really don't know, and if I'm probably gonna not worry about it unless it happens a second or third time, in close proximity to that. One puke, you kind of like, yeah, I better keep an eye on that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
This friend of mine on Facebook was talking about his dog was doing some weird stuff. Looking to the left, looking to the right, and then turning in circles and circles. So something was going wrong with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about going to the vet, but that post hasn't confirmed that yet. And maybe the dog is okay. What the hell is that about, right?
And speaking of dogs walking around in circles, we've got Mars in the room.
Is a
Wicked!
Is a cat puking part of TOS? Is that okay? Do you have any viewers left?
We still have viewers, and the cat puked behind my wife. So actually, no puke was shown on camera.
So is your couch a space background right now? Is that what that is?
Well, it's actually one of Venison's posters.
Okay, so what you need to do is figure out how to get a rainbow coming out your cat's butt, and then you can have Nan Cat going on.
There we go. That would do it.
Oh my God, you're good.
Now, of course, we all know that not only is this a picture of Venison's poster, but there is no images of Scotch tape on the corners of said poster, because that's not how Venison got his posters to stick to the wall.
No, they're just stuck. Return adhesive.
They just kind of stuck on their own.
Now, the thing is that was that was a blacklight poster, right?
I believe so.
I think you should put the blacklight near that poster and see what happens.
Well,
the whole wall will light up.
Then we could confirm his record if we got the measuring tape out, because that was how we found out about the wall adhesive, was him bragging about how high up the wall he could hit.
The sticky wall.
So
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know what? That's
That
probably the
is
only thing
so
left of
wrong
that
in
house
so
is
many
that
ways.
wall, because normal human devices can't break it down now.
And Venison would want us to continue talking about this, because every time we brought up the topic, he would start laughing, and then he'd get beam with pride.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be proud of that, but okay.
I don't know. I think he got some impressive distance on that. I mean, it's not. I think we all know from experience that sometimes, every now and then, you have an impressive spurt that just gets more distance than you normally see. Back me up here.
You should say "back me up" when you're talking about this sort of.
Okay.
That's not the phrase you want to say.
Are we hitting a term of service thing here?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm not demonstrating this live on the stream.
Well, that's true.
So I think we're okay talking about it. I mean,
Right. Oh my.
Now I've heard stories about people that, when they're lying on the back, get up over their head. I've never quite got that far, but
Yeah, no, no.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. You've not gotten that far. Nope. You're not talking about this.
Nope.
I think we lost some views.
Yeah, you might have. Sparky Toaster and OX64 probably left.
Well, Brian typed in, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And that was cut and paste from the prior message.
You know exactly what we're talking about.
Hey, you know what? Ignorance is bliss, and lying about is just as good.
It's funny. During dinner, my wife was mentioning a Today I Fucked Up that she read on Reddit, and I don't think I can repeat it.
Oh my God!
It involved a certain type of an alarm clock and a certain unexpected surprise of the wrong variety. But that's.
Do two wrongs make a right?
No, in this case they.
Well,
did
they
not.
can make a funny.
I don't think she was laughing.
Well, somebody's gonna laugh, right? Even though, again, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna explain that one. Okay.
I know. That's the funny part too, right?
So, Gators, did you get your new record player back?
Yes, I got my new record player. It's great. I love it. I went record shopping this past weekend.
Wait a minute, got it back. What?
Well, I picked it up after I bought. Well, I guess I got it because I bought it and left them the cartridge, and then I brought it home. So I got it back home.
So this was two trips to complete the complete the purchase, as it were.
Yes, and it's got my Ordophon Rondo Bronze cartridge on there. And
did you tell him to install the copper pipe while he was at it?
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I decided against that. It has enough weight to handle the cartridge without.
So, are
you
going to buy a second turntable for the other cartridge?
Probably, yes.
There you go.
At some point in time.
Sweet.
And I'm kind of going back and forth between it would be really easy to buy like a second new turntable, and then, it would still be a really new turntable and still be just as good. And then part of me is like, maybe I could buy a decent vintage turntable, and, something seems right about having a vintage turntable to play vintage quad. It's a 70s era cartridge for 70s era technology. I may as well have a 70s looking turntable to go with that. And it's like, there's some good brands I've been considering, Thorin's, Acoustic Research are kind of what I keep tossing back and forth.
Let me ask one thing or maybe suggest one thing, and that is,
Okay.
when you're looking at these vintage turntables, do you know a technician that works with them?
Well, yes, the guy I bought the new turntable from.
And he'll work with a used one that you obtain from
As long as I don't bring it in and say it needs a new arm. He doesn't want to deal with that, it seems like. Although he probably would have if I insisted. But he
So would you be buying a turntable with an arm?
Yes, that's the idea. I'd buy a turntable, an arm that's ready to go, that ideally would already be in working condition. Now the guy that sold me that turntable, he has vintage turntables that are available to be sold, but he also hasn't fixed them up yet. It's one of those things like, I'm not going to fix it up unless someone wants to buy it, and then how much it costs.
Oh, so you could actually buy the vintage turntable from him.
I could buy a vintage turntable from him. How much it costs depends on how much work it needs. So it'd be kind of like let's go with that one. And then,
can he give you an idea what it would cost? I mean,
well, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, because normally the way having him fix up a turntable would work would be to give him a $45 kind of deposit to.
Wow, this guy's got you coming and going.
Well, no, this is the way the guy works. If you bring in a turntable for him to work on, is you give him a $45 to evaluate the turntable.
Now, is he working out?
Let me finish.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get the big picture of, does the guy work out of his house, or does he actually have a store?
Well, before I take another question, I'm gonna finish the first thought I was into.
Okay, I apologize because I have an unexcused absence on my list.
Right. You're on thin ice, Brian. You're on thin.
Yes. Okay, so please get what you were saying and decide when you want to answer my question.
So the way he works, if you bring him a turntable to work on, is you pay a $45 fee for him to evaluate it. And then after he evaluates it and tells you what it needs and about what it will cost, that $45 will go towards the repairs. So in a sense, you get that back.
That's a standard thing for
that. Yeah.
For guys. Yeah. I mean, if a guy comes to look at your dishwasher at home, he's going to want some money up front to evaluate the deal, and then he'll give you a quote on how to fix it, and he'll apply that cost. Yeah. That's
so
totally
it's like
fair.
it's like you get a free evaluation if you get it worked on, but if you don't get it worked on, you still got to pay for the time that
the $45 is already spent.
Right.
That's standard procedure. That's
now
I think that's fine. That's totally fair.
Now I don't know how that works. If it's like, I'm interested in that turntable, but how much is it going to cost to fix up? Like, do you buy the turntable for a certain price as is, and then pay the $45 for him to evaluate it, and then find out it's not worth fixing? I don't know how it's going to work.
See, because if he owns it, I would think that he would evaluate it, say,
yeah.
So here's this turntable.
Right.
It needs to be fixed up, but if you get it fixed up, I'll get this will be how much it'll be.
So basically,
two prices: as is or fixed up.
But
that's what I would do.
But am I going to have to pay him to evaluate the turntable I'm interested in buying, because I don't own it, so he's not evaluating my turn? See, I'm not sure how.
That's what I'm saying. I think he should be doing it.
He probably will do it. I mean, we'll probably be talking serious about I'm going to buy this turntable unless you find something really wrong with it and it's going to cost way too much to fix up. In which case, we'll start talking about other turntables you have. So,
Gators, there's a problem here.
Yeah.
He owns these turntables. He has them in his shop. He evaluated them like when he first got them. So he has an evaluation on them. He can't just sit there and do that.
I know he has a backlog of stuff to work on that he because the shop fixes up stereo equipment and turntables, but at this time they're not taking in new stereo components because they have too much of a backlog. They're only taking in turntables to work on. So if he's so backed up on work that he's only taking in so much new work, I don't think he's going to waste time evaluating things that no one wants yet. So I don't I could see where you could acquire a pile of stuff and have no idea what the condition of it is. That happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the pickers when they buy stuff, they'll buy it in ratty condition, and they like to, because they'll find a buyer that wants to fix it up. Right? They don't know what it's going to cost to fix it up. They'd rather let the guy that's looking at it take that risk.
Right. But yeah, this guy has a shop that he fixes things up in. To answer
and
your other question.
This shop is open to the public, right?
Right.
It's not in his basement, with his, in his mother's basement.
Well, he has a store where he basically his business involves selling new stereo equipment and repairing vintage equipment. He doesn't buy vintage equipment, though, and he doesn't do a lot of flipping vintage equipment, but I think he used to, and he still has some vintage equipment because, we basically said, when you're ready to buy a second turntable, we'll talk more about it then. I have some, I know he has some acoustic research turntables. He rattled off a few models he has of that, but I don't know what condition they're all in. So that's a conversation we'll dig more into when I'm ready to pay money.
Well, he may
for
not
something.
know what the condition is either. He still has to evaluate them.
Right. Well, he might know what.
But if you're going to take a
cosmetic-
wild ass guess, how much money are you going to have set aside for this purchase?
I'd say at least $1,000, honestly.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He kind of gave me a ballpark of 600, 800, but I'm thinking more realistically another $1,000.
Yeah.
Of course, for $1,000, I could just get fixed up with a second one of what I just bought.
Yeah, pretty much.
And tell them to put the cartridge on that. That's where brand new turntables are certainly looking appealing.
Yep.
But we'll. But like I said, I think I'd like the idea of a vintage turntable for the quad.
To not ruin your negotiating power, don't tell them that you have $1,000 set aside.
No,
you
of
say,
course not.
I have $500, maybe a little more.
Don't even put a price on anything unless he.
Sure.
And Gators, what you wanted, this is what you need to do, Gators. You want a vintage turntable. Buy the same one of those and just duct tape a little shag carpet to the side of it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That'll work right there.
There you go.
Yeah. Right there.
And by the way, you could get a BSR turntable for a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah, but I already have one of those in the basement.
Right.
That because it's my only turntable that does 16 RPM. And every now and then, I like a little bit of elevator music.
Is that the one you can reverse and go slow and fast?
No, that's the Newmark. Technically, the Newmark can do 16 RPM because it pitch shifts up to 50%. And so if I pitch it down to 50% of 33, that's 16. But it really doesn't. It doesn't play that stable pitch down that slow. It's not designed to really do a stable 16 RPM.
Right. They just put the lever on there because there's some moron that will want that for some audio recording.
I mean, they give you a more pitch than you would normally need to use. So using the pitch all the way is really pushing it to its limits. And like I said, it's not a very good 16 RPM.
What was funny, I just saw a thing a couple days ago on Facebook. Did you have a turntable that did 45s and 33 and a third? And I says, mine did 78s.
Mine had the little switchy bit, had two thingies on it, and it had the little thing in the middle that you pull up and you turn it, and it makes has the big hole instead of the little hole. That's what I had. Yeah.
I had one that looked like a 70s hippie van.
Sweet.
I had the cover that had like the van windows and the big smiling hippies with the bell-bottom jeans.
That might go for quite a bit online.
Yeah, that's long gone.
Have you looked to see how much those are worth, actually? I bet you they're worth some money.
I've only ever seen one of them show up on eBay, and that was because Gothard found it from my description of it. Because in college, I kept describing this hippie van turntable I had, and one day Gothard sends me a link and says, "Is this it?" And I'm like, "Oh my God."
The amazing wonders of eBay, which you'll find. It's awesome.
So
that's the one.
Did he buy it for you?
No, and I'm kicking myself.
What kind of friend is he?
I don't remember what they were asking.
He's not on the show to defend it, so I retract that statement.
I considered buying it myself, but then, every now and
From
then I'm too
Dollar
logical.
General, is it brand new?
A turntable from Dollar General. OX64 writing in that he has a turntable from Dollar General. I fear for your records. I can
It's
hear
Dollar
them,
Tree. Go for it. Enjoy.
I hear them crying in pain at the
Now, can you
nail
use that
of a
to
needle.
rip your records to digital?
Oh, USB based.
I don't know, but he bought it 2 years ago. No,
That
okay,
must
well,
be
you
USB
know,
one at
hey,
one
if it serves its purpose for your collection, that's all good. I'm not
My
gonna
niece has one. My niece has one that has Bluetooth on it.
I'm not gonna hate on the people that have the
Nice.
Crosley Cruisers.
Nice. Now, if you have an older turntable that's everything's analog, what would be the best way to digitalize it? I mean, because you've done a shitload of that, right?
You don't digitalize it. That's the best way you digitalize it.
Well, no. I want to put the music on my iPhone or something like that.
Okay, well, I mean, for your iPhone, realistically, it's best to get
It's called iTunes, Brian. iTunes.
You buy it on iTunes. No.
No. But I have this collection.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend a ton of money. So, why didn't I digitize some of this stuff?
Well, I mean, you could get.
I mean, that's what Pete did with you, right?
Right, but
He was willing to pay you
Well,
in kind.
yeah, I found a lot of downloads.
Brian, do you want them in tracks or do you want the record in one file?
Well, it would be manually tracked, but I could do
Yeah, you can just
whatever.
use Audacity and hook it into hook it into your PC and then line in and just record if you had to.
It's enough of a time-consuming process. You're probably better off just buying it from the iTunes store if you just want it to listen on your phone. But to answer,
Hey, I'm retired. What else do I have to do?
You're in a band.
Well, you want to have your turntable hooked up to something that's got a line level output because, a magnetic cartridge needs to be run through a, RIAA preamp. So I don't know what your
RIAA preamp. Nice.
Yeah, the RIAA curve, because the curve of the level of audio that comes off a moving magnet
Again, I have
cartridge.
no idea what you're saying.
Yeah. Just need, basically you need a little amp, basically.
Okay.
Like a little DAC would do it.
Do you got a turntable?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it hooked up to?
Well, currently it's in a box, but I can hook it up to my Technics receiver
Okay. Now, so this is a vintage turntable.
and a vintage receiver. It has four channels.
So you got the receiver with the phono input, so you're going to get the proper preamplification there. Does the receiver have a line out? It probably does, but just to verify.
Yeah, analog. Yeah.
Okay. Then you probably want to get some kind of a USB sound card that has RCA inputs. Because if you use like the built-in line input of a sound card, it's going to be noisy. It's going to sound like shit. So, find some kind of a USB external sound card that's got two RCA ins.
Or is there just a USB device?
You can't, Brian.
That's not really a sound card?
You can get a DAC that has a phono in.
Well,
I've seen those. So basically, the DAC that goes phono in into your PC, you can do that.
That's
instead of. I'll go ahead, Brian. I'll go ahead, Gators. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was just saying you can do that. It does work. And since the DAC will do amplification for you, you can do it. I don't know how good a quality it would be, but you can.
I mean, there's different. I find it confusing your question about a different USB device to input sound that's not a sound card, because that's what a sound.
Well, I mean,
card
it will have a
is.
sound capability in it, but it's an external device entirely that go USB on one end and
okay.
Just RCA jacks on the other.
You know
what? It just occurred to me that my Alesis mixer will do that.
Okay, that works, and I guess when I use the term sound card, I apply that term to things that are not necessarily cards, just because it's so common to call your device that's sending and receiving audio your sound card, even though it might not be a card at all, but just a USB
a
device.
sound USB device,
a
right?
USB audio interface, I suppose, would be the more accurate terminology. So yeah, that is what I was suggesting.
Okay.
And you can look into different options, read different reviews. I don't have anything off the top of my head that I could recommend right now, but
I should just use my my Alesis mixer.
Yeah, take the line out of your receiver into the mixer.
Yeah.
I believe there are different free audio softwares out there. I'm trying to think what the popular free one is.
There's Audacity and there's Reaper.
I went into so that's a free one there.
Audacity is free. A lot of things that let you record it is Audacity. There's Reaper, that one's free. There's also Gold Wave, that one's not free, but it has a whole CD. It has a whole thing for records built into it. There's a couple others out there, but
I've heard good things about Audacity.
Oh, there is
Audacity.
I searched Amazon and it said I don't have anything like that. But in DuckDuckGo, it says, "Oh yeah, you can go to Amazon and buy that." There it is. The download is $1.70.
What? Wait, the download for the music or Audacity?
Audacity music and sound editing and recording software.
No, that's free.
$1.70.
Should be free.
Brian, it's open source. It's free.
Well, Amazon is just making it available for you.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably buying a CD with Audacity, but I have like 5 CDs.
No, it's
here.
a download. It's a download, man. It's a download.
Okay, Amazon's smoking some crack. I don't know what's going on with them.
Well, they want to make money for listing it. That's all.
If you go to audacityteam.org, that should give you the free download.
Or go to File Hippo, or go to the Major Geeks, or go to anywhere. You know what? In Google, type in Audacity download, and you'll find it right there.
Actually, I just got to the Audacity team.org.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's their website. So that's a software you can play with.
It's pretty good. It does multi-track. I mean, it'll be fine.
Probably more than I need, since I'm only going to do I'm only going to do stereo because that's what my sources are.
So you should be able to get a stereo recording option and select the your mixer as your source and have your turntable in there. And plus that mixer gives you a level to adjust your levels on the level meter.
Absolutely. I could be as good as you are.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
you could.
Well, okay, probably.
You could be close.
Anyone could be. You just got to do it enough hours and play around enough. Yeah.
I push the record button, go, and say, go. Do it. Do what you do. I don't care.
So, OX64, going back to my whole rambling about the RIAA curve, what Johnny's saying is if you try to hook it up to something that isn't RIAA compliant, it will sound like poo-poo, LOL.
And you'll get arrested for it. So there you go.
Yeah, no, it'll sound like the bass is missing and too quiet is what it is, as opposed to the opposite problem. Because I know all these things, I was able to help out a friend. There was a guy I knew in college named Jeff. This is the same guy that was eating the dog pills.
Oh no, not Jeff.
Yeah, you remember Jeff?
Damn, Jeff. Okay.
Yeah, he kept on explaining that it's okay because they give the same type of medicine to humans, so I should.
His coat shiny.
Yeah, it also made him very disoriented and dropping.
Maybe that was the effect he wanted, Gators. You don't know.
He had difficulty judging the height of the table whenever he'd put things down on the table, like his tray with all the food on it. And
hey, Gators. After watching Dandy on those special nights, how is it putting stuff on a table for you?
What table? I would have to get up off the couch to reach the table.
Yeah. See. You know what? Maybe that was the effect he was looking for. Maybe he just didn't have Dandy to watch after taking the dog
He just didn't have
pill.
Dandy to watch, and so he had to go to the dining hall and try to coordinate his eye-hand coordinations.
I don't know what you're talking about again.
Well, anyway, so Jeff one day. He brought he picked up a receiver from his parents or something like that. He set it up in the living room of the house that he was staying in, because it was this campus-owned house that they had 3 guys in, and there was 2 bedrooms upstairs with 3 beds, and then the downstairs is kitchen and living room, and so they just kind of, it was a nice hangout dorm area. So he has a DVD player hooked up to it, and we're watching the movie. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with this receiver. It's really distorted, and the bass is way too high." And I'm like, "Well, what input did you connect the DVD player to?" The record player input. I'm like, "Oh, there's your problem. Is there an auxiliary input on there? Yeah, move that over to there." It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you need to hook a
much better, right?
turntable to that. Yeah. And
cool.
We're going in, high Z inputs. Not to be confused with high C, which has the ecto cooler.
Right. And nothing to do.
The purple sucked. Don't drink the purple one.
The purple one?
The purple one's horrible. Don't drink that one. Sorry.
Okay.
Ecto Cooler is good, but they don't sell it anymore.
No. I thought they brought it back for the recent Ghostbusters movie, but that's been a while.
There was supposed to be a new one, but they put it on hold, and it's not coming out, I don't think, for a while now. And I want to see it.
There's recipes online to make your own ecto cooler.
You know what? That's too much effort, Gators.
Well, I don't know.
I'd rather buy the bottle that already has the Slimer on the side. It's okay.
Well, you could draw your own Slimer on it. Here we go. Homemade ecto cooler. Let's see.
Let's see the blind man get paint out and I'll paint 3D, and I can I'll make a Slimer. How's that?
2 cups of orange tangerine juice from Ocean Spray, 1 packet of orange Flavor-Aid or Kool-Aid, 1 packet of tangerine Flavor-Aid or Kool-Aid, a juice of 1 fresh lemon or a tablespoon of your favorite lemonade mix, 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water, blue and green food coloring, and water to fill the jug.
Okay, that's too much effort.
That's... we're talking about ecto cooler, though. I think it's worth the effort.
Is it really worth the effort?
You know what I always...
Are you going to make some and use it for the show next week?
Probably not, but I always remembered that I noticed that ecto cooler looked a lot like engine coolant. They were both the exact same shade of green.
Oh, the antifreeze.
I felt like I was drinking engine coolant every time I poured myself
antifreeze had more yellow than blue, though, didn't it?
Oh, no. It was. I don't know. The stuff my dad used looked just like ecto cooler green. I mean, it was a very yellowish green, ecto cooler.
Yeah. Kind of the standard.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I was like, wow, this looks like antifreeze.
I hope you didn't mix the bottles up one day and say, here, Dad, put that in your cart and see what happens.
No.
Well, I'm sure there would be a smell test difference.
Yeah, it'd probably be fine in the summer.
Your car would be nice and refreshed.
But then we'd have frozen ecto cooler in the winter. That would not be good for the car.
Or for Gators.
No, not good at all. If I,
it's okay. You can bring with your brother, right? It's like he did it, not me. I don't know how.
My brother was the troublemaker.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wonder what 3 sisters why I never got caught with anything. You don't have to not do anything. You just have to learn not to get caught. So
Exactly.
I was the oldest child, so I was the good son.
No, you're the one that always blamed, isn't it?
That too.
Yeah, but they should learn by example.
But then when my brother got to be in his teenage years and he got to be more of a handful than I was, I suddenly became a lot more appreciated.
Right. I mean, usually the firstborn is let's just call it the parents' experiment. They're just figuring out how to raise children, right?
Yeah. There was... Well, it was funny, and I don't know how much of this I should or shouldn't talk about, but I don't feel like anyone did anything wrong. I always was, very forgiving when I look back.
That's right, because you were going to church and confessing to the priest.
Yeah, just like they taught us to do.
Exactly.
You say 89% of the stuff he's supposed to say.
And remember, after you're done confessing, when the priest holds up his hand, that's not for a high five. So please don't.
Wait, it's not?
Oh,
Damn.
my.
I didn't do that, but I heard about.
Isn't that the best part of confessing? You could give priests a high five?
See, my mom was a CCD teacher for 2nd grade, which was the year of first confession. Yeah, it's like Sunday school, but on a weekday evening, once a week.
Oh, sort of like a catechism class.
Yes,
that's called detention, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the Catholic version of Hebrew school.
It was
right?
mandatory once a week detention that your parents would send you to church for 1 weekday after school.
And that ran for how many years?
Up until you were confirmed.
What if you didn't show up? What would happen?
Well,
you over.
Well, the thing is that as a member of the church, it's kind of an obligation, and so if you're going to be confirmed with the church, you have to meet certain requirements that demonstrate.
Do you
that
recall
you're taking it serious.
The age-ish group that you went through this?
Well, the thing is I only went to CCD up to 5th grade because once I went into 6th grade, that's when I switched to Catholic school, and since I was taught religion as part of my school curriculum, I was not required to go to CCD.
Okay, but you were still confirmed though, right?
Yeah, although that was a bit tricky. I got lucky on that one because we went to a church that didn't have a school, so we went to a different parish's Catholic school. So then when it got to be the year that I was going to be confirmed, the church started saying, well, if you want him to be confirmed, he needs to go to our classes and pass our tests so that we can, confirm that he's prepared to be confirmed. And my mom fought very hard against that. Because she didn't think it would be fair for me to have to attend religion classes in school and religion classes once a week at the church and have to do double duty there.
Sweet.
So she fought that battle for me, and I just sailed right through and got confirmed without having to attend any CCD classes. Now, some of my siblings, I think all 3 of the others, they had to attend the CCD for the year. My mom only pulled it off once. So that was the other thing is, a parent's spirit of the fight kind of gets worn down from each child.
After the first one's we don't care anymore.
What cracked me up is when I was in Houston, I met this fella that had his kids in a private Lutheran school, and he asked me if I thought it was right for them to require a religion class. And I kind of shrugged my shoulder. I mean, what the hell do I know? I don't have kids. I've never been, to that type of school. But, hey, it's their school. They can make all the rules they want, right?
Well, if you're going to be a practicing member of a religion, there is some kind of an obligation to understand the principles.
Yeah, I suspect that he was not a member. He just found this private school that happened to be Lutheran, and
that is a thing. If you're going to attend the school, you got to go through their curriculum. I mean, I had one of my friends in Catholic school was Jewish. But
sure.
The parents wanted something better than what the public school systems had to offer.
And I'm sure that's what this guy was into.
And Catholic school is cheaper than a private school and at a higher level than the public school.
Right.
So that was kind of a poor man's private school, was sending your kid to the Catholic school, whether or not you're a member of the church or the religion. So yeah.
9 billion.
What? 9 million?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just read an article that Amazon's talking about buying MGM for $9 billion.
Oh, 9 billion.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Oh, that's a lot of dollar.
That's a lot of dollar.
That's a lot of dollar.
Could I get a cut of that?
I don't know. Do you own some MGM stock?
I several of my records in my collection are on the MGM label.
That isn't going to give you a plug nickel.
Does that have the tiger on it?
Yeah. And on the third roar, you start playing the Dark Side of the Moon, and then it syncs up.
Oh,
cool.
Is the record
very
yellow?
Cool.
What's that?
Is the record yellow?
Which record?
The MGM record he's
The
talking about.
MGM record.
Yeah.
Is it a yellow record? Well, no, I think all my MGM record. I don't think I have any color vinyl on MGM. But,
So what did Donovan mean when he said, "Call me mellow yellow"?
well, he was on Epic, so that has nothing.
Oh,
to do.
see, that's completely
No,
different.
I was thinking of Wizard of Oz. Weren't they MGM originally?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Wizard of Oz had a yellow vinyl, didn't they?
Oh, the Yellow Brick Road. Well, now you know what?
Boy, are we just losing it in every direction.
See,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
I
I'm sorry. MGM.
No,
sorry,
that's
guys.
cool.
Because
that's
Dark
cool.
Side of the Moon was on Harvest, so that was also completely different. But that's okay, because then you got Mort Garson's take on that called "The Wazard of Iz," which is a fun album to listen to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That. Yeah. Sorry, I brought up MGM
But
and Amazon. But
but-
if they actually buy them, I guess Amazon's this is gonna get a lot bigger.
And AT&T is just buying Warner, I think.
Warner.
Is AT&T
Warner
buying
and-
Warner Brothers?
Well, it's now Warner's
Time
and some
Warner.
Time Warner, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh, they're
But
doing
for-
that for the cable stuff, though, isn't it?
Well, for a while it was Time Warner
I guess.
AOL, but then suddenly everyone stopped talking about AOL.
Well, no, freaking who was it? Somebody bought AOL and another company. They were trying to sell them recently.
Oh heck, I was considering buying AOL, but I didn't have a.
And Yahoo was just
Yeah.
bought by somebody.
I
About
was
Netflix.
going to buy AOL, but I didn't have a spare $20 that week, so I.
That only gives you like 1,500 minutes of AOL though. You only get to own it for 1,500 minutes. Sorry.
Right.
How many senior citizens are still paying for dial-up AOL
Right.
accounts that
Sure.
they never use?
So I used to watch my mom's dogs all the time. You know,
Well,
they,
see, and
they
then-
go. She had a couple Pomeranians, so they'd go to Reno and Vegas, and her and her friend would always go. So I would watch her dogs, and I finally said, "Okay, I will not watch your dogs anymore until you turn AOL into something else, because I am not going to be here with your AOL dial-up or dial-up." And she goes, "But I'm paying really cheap price. It was like $21.95 at the moment," and I said, "Yeah, we're gonna switch it over to AT&T. What was it? It was basically DSL at the time."
Right.
And I said, "Well, we're changing it to DSL." She goes, "But $21.95." I'm like, "Mom, you get DSL speeds for $14." And she goes, "But the installation's $200." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. Get the installation free version. I'll do it for you, right?" So she brings it over. And I plug in it's super easy. You plug in the modem. You just plug in the stupid filters into every single wall. And
Right.
I turn it on and it works. And I go, "Mom, I'd like $200, please." She goes, "No." Yeah.
Thanks,
Aw.
Mom.
But
Well, in her defense, Mars,
what?
she's the one that brought you to life. And she
Well,
nourished you.
technically, Brian, she didn't. I was adopted. So
So that'll be $200.
that'd be $200.
I face
please.
That'll be-
planted on that one.
Yeah, you have. Sorry, Brian.
But she should get credit for adopting you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
pretty
you
much,
see
yeah.
these kids
Yeah.
that bounce from group home to group home.
Oh, I know them.
No,
I used
because
to,
I am I'm on the board of directors of a group home
oh, nice.
that takes care of kids. In fact, I put it out there, when we don't need the foster system anymore, that would be the best day in the world.
Yeah,
But
my mom.
we
My mom and dad we had like 8 or 9 foster children they fostered for a while.
You
so
did.
all
That's
together.
awesome.
When I was like little bitty. Actually, what's interesting is my lab when I used to work at my college. Our lab, they used to bring the foster foster groups in to use the lab for learning how to use the computers to get jobs and search and stuff like that. Because
That's
they
awesome.
they didn't actually have. It was a program, so it was kind of neat. It was kind of cool. But
This was a program that the college
yeah.
ran?
No, that this other company, other people would run, but they used my lab because it worked. And they were also good about ready to turn 18. So once they turn 18, they're out in the foster program,
They're kicked out
and
of the
so
deal.
they kind of want jobs, to find a way to work.
Finally, California has a transitional program for kids that age out of the foster program.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
And there's one in I think it's in Hayward.
Mm-hmm. That might have been
There's
the one.
there's this building. I think I know where it is. Or it might be in Castro Valley. But there's this building that looked like it used to be a motel that's run by this operation that that does this.
Oh,
It's a cool program. It's long needed.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, some kids just want to go on their own. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But the rules are very nice with the transitional housing. You can kind of come and go in your pleas. The only requirement for you to stay there is either you have a job or are in school or working to get a job.
Let's just say, Brian, these kids in my lab that would come to my lab, you don't want to see them in the dark alley. They were kind of scary. And, you'd have to pull another girl off another guy a couple times, but it was okay. They were friendly with each other.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
That's cool. They're very friendly. In lab.
Yeah.
At my computer, and I basically said, no, not in here.
Not that friendly.
Not that friendly. Not in here. I don't have enough Lysol.
So you guys wouldn't let them do it right there in the.
No, we would not. Well,
getting to know each other on the computer table.
Let me rephrase this, Brian. The person that ran it said stuff, and then I would say things. And I had no problem saying anything first, but I was urged not to say anything right away. To let the adult, the manager of the group say something before I intervened.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do they have like a separate room put aside for that, or they?
Well, in the motel, maybe. Maybe that's called the elevator. I don't know.
The elevator, getting it on in the elevator there. That's, yeah.
It was interesting. It was an interesting time.
You put some posters up in that elevator after they're done.
And I've met a couple of them since. I mean, they've said, "Hey, I remember you." I'm like, "Oh crap, I don't know you, but you're scary." But okay, nice to meet you.
So, Mars, did you live in in a group home?
No. I was basically
adopted when you were pretty long.
Yeah, I was like 2 weeks old.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy for you because the people that go through group homes are often really screwed up.
Yeah,
Marilyn Monroe went through a group home as a kid and bounced around. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Did she have some crazy in her?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not old enough.
What do you know about Marilyn Monroe? Do you know she has crazy?
I think it was often said that she had some insecurities. I think that's about the most
and guess what? She went in grew up in a group home.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a connection there.
Annie grew up in an orphanage, but she was fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who did?
Annie.
Yeah, Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah.
Oh, Little Orphan Annie. Well, she had this millionaire guy or millionaire back
Mr. Warbucks.
Yeah, Daddy Warbucks.
Dollar. Like Duesenbergs and helicopters, dude.
Yeah.
Gators, you need a Duesenberg.
Now, was she and Daddy Warbucks, were they real people?
I have no idea.
Probably not. I don't.
Although there's a good guess that they were based on real people.
Might have been. Who knows? Yeah. Don't watch the new one, though.
Somebody is going to leave a comment to tell us, you guys are full of shit. This is the real story behind it.
Hey, go for it. I'd like to see the real story. Actually, I could just Google it probably. Gators, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just searching about Annie. Let's see.
Okay.
The movie was based on the comic. Okay, that's not quite what I was
I
looking
do
for.
know that. The new movie, the music was crap.
The musical was based on the comic strip Little Orphan Annie, which itself was based on an 1885 poem originally titled The Elf Child. At the poem's third printing, poet Jacob Whitcomb Riley decided to change its title to Little Orphan Alley to memorialize the real-life orphan that served as ... Okay. Now we got to click on the link.
In fact,
And-
do they even use the word orphan anymore?
Well, I don't know, but this link wants me to pay
Mars,
money
do you think,
to read the
do you think
article.
they're using that word anymore?
Orphan? I don't know. Orphanage, probably. I don't
But
know.
there aren't that many anymore. Most of them are now group homes.
Oh, I don't know. I've
You
never
know, the
researched it.
regulations change all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, this last bit of changes, I'm going to say, are nuts. I mean, I understand the idea behind it, but it's nuts.
I think they use the word orphan when programming and in Active Directory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want an orphan directory. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now, other people have no idea what we're talking about, right?
According to the internet, orphan is still a correct terminology. It is the official word used by the government when describing such people. When a child undergoes what's called a termination of parental rights, they are deemed an orphan by the state.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
We've learned
still-
something new. This
still a word.
show is very educational.
Orphan is still a word.
Yeah.
Right. Although the program is called foster care.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty. And the word, I think the word orphanage is really not used that much anymore.
Well, I don't know that
I
you
could
have
be wrong.
orphanages anymore. Now you have foster parents or foster care and
Well,
things.
you have-
I don't.
you-
I'm not familiar with the system.
You also have beer and farms.
Beer and farms.
Beer and
Yeah.
farms.
Yeah, Fosters and foster.
Oh
farms.
my
Chicken.
God! Oh, that's right. Fosters. That's right. Anybody in Australia will
Australian
say
for beer.
that's not beer.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I know it's not beer, but you know what? The commercials are freaking hilarious.
Well, Brian,
They are.
Brian,
They
to be
are.
fair, no one in the United States would call that beer either. So
Any more that they would call Schlitz beer.
yeah.
But don't get in anybody's face about Pabst, right? That is real goddamn beer.
PBR.
What about Zima? Is Zima still a thing? Is it gone?
No, I think Zima's gone. I think
Their bottles were cool. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I remember of them. I don't drink, so. And then there's Bartles and James. Those bottles are very.
Oh my God,
very-
are they gone now?
I think Bartles and James are gone, and they used to look like Kool-Aid in these cool bottles.
Yeah,
They did.
we liked. What was the competitor to Bottles and James? I can't remember right now.
I don't know, but it looked like a fruit drink because they had green and blue and orange and red, and they're all pretty colors. And I'd come over to visit my mom here in California, and I'd be like, "Wow, look at all this!" I'm like, "Oh, they're wine coolers. That's nasty. Never mind. Where's
Yeah.
the Coke?"
Yeah, when we were, my wife and I were really younger, we did some wine coolers, but not the
Wow,
Bottles.
you
I
guys
didn't
are
like the
crazy.
Bottles and James. Well, you start someplace, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Some people start with a boxed wine and get stuck there. That stuff sucks.
Gators, what did you start with? Did you start with the can that just says beer on the side?
no, I started with Budweiser. I had a few Budweisers and it was okay, and then I discovered Bacardi Silver, and I liked it so much that I got so wasted and sick on it, I never wanted another Bacardi Silver as long as I lived. So I went back to Budweiser.
I see.
But
Well-
these days Yingling's kind of my staple
So I
beer
was
choice.
I was living in Colorado when Coors was only regional.
Oh,
You couldn't get anywhere else. A friend of mine told me that he had been in the military, stationed in, I don't remember, Alabama or something like that.
Mhm.
When he would have the leave, he'd get a couple weeks off, he would go to Colorado, rent a U-Haul truck, fill it with Coors beer, bring it back, and the money that he made on the beer would pay for the entire trip.
Isn't that what Cannonball Run is about? Is running across the Texarkana lines?
No, I thought that
going
was-
beer, or is that Smoking the Bandit?
that's Smoky and the Bandit
That's
that
Smoking
they were
the Bandit.
driving
That
the
had to be
Coors
It was
beer.
Coors. It was Coors.
Oh, was
It
it?
was
No
Coors.
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I
Smoking
don't
the Bandit.
remember that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
That's funny.
because they had the guy driving the truck filled with the Coors beer, and
Yeah.
and Burt
he had the
Reynolds
dog.
was kind
the
of
dog.
the lead
Right.
car that was
Yeah.
taking up the lead with the Trans Am.
The Bandit.
Now this guy that I knew never got caught.
I like Cannon Roll Run too. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
But that would have been funny if he did get caught.
That
Now,
would be funny.
he was.
Not
Here's
for
a
him.
really funny part. So I knew this guy when I was working at the nuclear weapons plant, where he needed to get a security clearance.
That's fun.
And he was working there for 2 years waiting for a security clearance. He never got one, and they finally let him go because he couldn't get one. We never really knew the reason why, but maybe they found out about the Coors deal.
Yeah, you can't trust someone that's going to smuggle Coors across
That's
state
right.
lines with our,
Government secrets.
nuclear weapons.
Hey,
Right.
maybe the nuclear weapons made the cores actually taste decent. You don't know. It could have mutated it.
Could have. No, I
Now,
actually,
now he was not allowed to see a secure. There was a secure network.
Uh-huh.
He was not cleared, so he couldn't see it. And there was the not secure network, which everybody, my email, et cetera, was going through there, right?
right.
Okay.
I never saw the secure network, even though I had a security clearance. But then again, I didn't need to, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
He made up a screen on his unsecure terminal that looked like the secure network.
Oh. He just wanted to look special.
What a jokester. It's like, wait a
He
second.
wanted to look special. I don't
How
understand.
did
It's like,
you
dude,
see that to be able to make that?
he went to your
right?
computer, made a copy paste, and went over to his and said done. Screenshot.
Yeah, but he was not allowed to see that.
Oh, maybe he saw it over his shoulder at somebody else one day.
Right. He peeked.
Take
He
a little
But
peek.
they wouldn't even allow him in the secure areas for him to see it, right?
Maybe he had some binoculars or something.
I remember.
Of course, the funnier thing is that there was a guy that has security clearance and he worked on the secure system. He would connect a modem to the secure machine,
Oh.
which is totally illegal. And the first time he got caught, he just kind of said, "Oh, okay, I won't do that again." But he did it again.
Uh-oh.
And when they raided his house, they found all kinds of tapes with secure data on it.
Ooh.
Oh. What were you saying, Gators?
Motherfuck.
What were you saying, Gators?
Um,
Trying to,
Well, no, I was just remembering I once took a tour of a nuclear submarine. I remember at one point of the tour, they point down, and that's the hallway where the nuclear power reactor is. Don't look down there too long. Moving right along.
Which sub was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
My older brother was a welder at Electric Boat in Groton,
Mhm.
Connecticut, and he worked on the Nautilus.
Oh.
And he said the only reason why this is still a working boat is because it's some admiral's baby. He said when you went on a welding job there, it was like cutting butter.
Is that the one that they have the tours on now?
Yeah, that's in New London, Connecticut. Yeah.
No, I've done that tour. That wasn't the one that
Yeah.
But then another one that was active. We got taken on. For
That's
a little
cool.
Private tour, and it's like down there's where nuclear reactors.
Is
Stop
that
looking
because
down there.
your father-in-law had access to that?
Yeah, he took us for a tour. The boat
Nice.
that he was on.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Although all of that is a secret.
Well, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. I don't really remember much about it.
OX64.
Right.
Don't
That's right.
remember this.
That's
I
right. The
don't
Men
remember
in
at all.
Black came and wiped your mind.
I
Ooh,
was
the
just
flashy thing.
I was just glad I
Yeah.
didn't end up in a torpedo tube by the end of the tour. So I was.
You know what? You know what? That could have been fun.
That no, I don't think I would have fit.
You wouldn't have fit. Depends on the torpedoes.
So I had some relatives that went with us down to New London to see the Nautilus.
Yeah.
I don't really remember the tour.
Well,
Anyway, one of my in-laws, they have this little porthole. If you can fit through this, you can do the tour. And he didn't fit.
oh.
Yeah.
Well, they have a stairwell that takes you down there, but I maybe there are parts that are tight squeezes. I don't remember
Yeah.
a lot about the tour. I remember that the tour,
And,
they
and
gave
maybe
you
that was
the
a safety
speaker
issue
thing.
in some emergency. You had to be able to fit.
That
I don't
could
know.
be.
Gators, you remember the tour where you had to do what?
Yeah, well, they'd hand you a little speaker thing. It was a self-guided tour, so that
Oh yeah.
I did that at
Hold the speaker up to
Alcatraz.
your
That wasn't
ear.
very fun.
Yeah.
They give
Oh,
you a
yeah,
little
well,
tape player.
It
And
can
I'm
be
like,
fun.
well,
It can be fun.
no, it was. I mean, yeah, I just ran around places and threw myself in a jail cell, and so. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, you
Yeah.
give you a tape player, just run around. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
well-
run into anything. There's nothing there.
Now, I did do that tour too,
Right.
the Alcatraz tour. Although I put the headphones on and walked
Yeah.
the path, and it was a little awkward because I was doing that with Gothard, and so we both had the headphones on. We're both kind of in sync, listening to the same thing, but we're basically just following each other, listening to the same tour instead of making jokes or whatever.
No, it's
but
fine.
after we were done, you were free to walk around wherever you wanted, which
Yeah.
you know.
You know, there's like a freaking bird preserve thing on the other side of the island. I didn't know that till later on.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a whole preserve on
we're
the other
all
side of the
learning
island. Yeah,
something here.
yeah.
It's an interesting island.
It's
It
freaking
really is.
it's freaking tiring going up there. The stupid pill ramp thing.
There's
Yeah, that
there's a
big
lot
old
of
It's very
stairs.
windy. Yeah,
From
it's very
from the ferry or the
Yeah,
boat.
you got to go all the way up there. It's tiring.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the thing. We went out to Alcatraz, me, Gothard, and Kristen, and we got out there, and Kristen looked at the hill and looked back at us and said, "You two go.
Yeah,
I'll find a bench down here."
They really should put like an elevator in it now or something.
Well,
Right.
they had like a golf cart that was going back and forth if you
Ooh,
wanted
you
to
could take
take
the golf
that.
cart.
And but she didn't. She's like, no, you two just walk up, and I'll sit here.
Oh,
And,
boo!
Oh, so you want to hear a somewhat embarrassing story?
Yes.
Did you get locked in the jail cell accidentally?
Oh no, this is a little bit more.
Oh, did you get
So
locked down?
I called a friend of mine the other day,
Mhm.
and I hadn't talked to her for at
That
least
is embarrassing.
6 weeks, right? Just kind of checking in. Now she has had some health issues, so it's like, yeah, I should give her a call and see how she's doing. Anyway, I called her and she says, "Oh, hang on a second, I'm in an elevator. Let me, it'll be just a few seconds and I'll get out." So then when she got out, we began talking again, and I go, "Okay, here's a blonde question. When did you install an elevator in your house?" The embarrassing part is she had moved into a care facility because of this health issue.
Oh.
It's like,
Oh.
Oh.
kind of sucks. But she just moved there, and she was okay with my silly comment. I think she
She'll never
She's cool.
forgive
She's
you,
cool.
Brian. She will
No, she's
never
cool.
forgive you to
She'll
the end of
never
days.
forget.
hey, she still has her house. That's how recent this
I'm
is.
joking.
And that place is in Alameda, and these people in Alameda are cool.
Wow, someone's outside.
No, I'm trying to find all the videos I took of Alcatraz, but apparently I didn't share them on Facebook. So
Did you go underneath it and have to dodge the heater things that go every certain amount of time? And did you have to time it just like Sean Connery did?
no,
You know what? You miss half the tour.
I don't remember that. I just remember walking around different jail cells and the cafeteria and
Did you go see
Talking about the various
did you-
prisoners that
did you go-
lived in there.
Did you go see the tower outside and
yeah, and then I remember at the end of the tour they had a guy there that was doing a book signing because he wrote a book about his experience being a prisoner in Alcatraz.
did you ask him
So-
how he swam? How hard it was to swim from here to there?
I decided to leave the guy alone.
Oh, I would have asked him all these questions, Gators. You know me, I would have asked him questions. You know I would have.
I'm like a guy that was locked up at Alcatraz for doing something wrong. Not a
what?
guy I want to mess with.
I would mess with him. I'd be like, dude, I bet you that was some swim from here to there. Did you have to? There's sharks and whales in there. How'd you get away from them?
No, he didn't escape. He
Well, apparently-
served his time.
That's Frank Morris and his brother. What was it, the guy's name?
In the Times?
The guys
Yeah.
the guys that did escaped.
Oh, I
Clint
don't know.
Eastwood, right?
Whoa, it was Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
No,
he
no,
has
no.
Take
He
the
was
Walk.
he was in the
That's
movie
the
called
guy.
The Rock.
Yeah.
That's not about the escape,
Well, he escaped The Rock.
but not as a prisoner. That's something
Maybe.
completely different.
Maybe. What was the Birdman guy, remember?
Right, and that was who the hell played that? I forget.
I don't know. I don't remember the movie. It's been a long time. I was
Yeah.
very young when I saw it. I know I was kind of scared of it, though. It was. I think he gave me a nightmare 1 or 2 times, and that was about it.
Well, he was, other than he took care of these birds, he was kind of a nasty dude.
Well, I don't. Well,
Fortunately, while he was in Alcatraz, he came up with something that he felt was worthwhile.
Brian, I have a question for you. How
Yes,
how
sir.
lighthearted would you be if you had tons of birds pooping on your shoulder? I'd be kind of nasty
That's why I am not the Birdman.
Yeah, the Birdman of Danville.
Oh,
Gators,
God.
Gators.
What?
Did you actually go inside the jail cell, or did you just open the thing and close it?
I went inside a jail cell. I went inside. But
Did you cosplay? Did you wear something orange to go inside it, or whatever?
no, I did not do that.
Okay, so
People-
Birdman of Alcatraz was 1962.
Yeah, I wasn't alive.
Which is the
yes.
which is the
Yes.
same year as the How the West Was Won was done. I was just watching that on a movie channel. It's like, I don't remember any of this.
You know, I can't listen to the song anymore without thinking of Family Guy.
Oh,
I can't do it.
Burt
I
Lancaster.
can't do it.
Burt Lancaster was
Can't
the
do
main
it.
star.
No.
Well, I can't hear the song without thinking about the Messenger program interrupting me with it every week.
And Telly
That's
Savalas
right.
was
That was
in.
awesome.
No, was it?
I appreciated that.
Whoa! I missed that. What?
Well, you know this song, right, Brian?
Absolutely. I cannot remember who did it though,
The Trashmen.
and I don't remember them.
Yeah.
One hit wonders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Okay,
only thing
that's
they
why I
ever
can't-
recorded. But the thing is that the Messenger program had a feature built into it because it was a blind-friendly app, so that you had an option that you could make it play a sound anytime a message came in. So that way, someone like Damon, Liam, or Mars, if they're using the app, they would know when someone wrote a message and to focus on the window to read the text because they heard the sound. Well, you had to set a default sound to it. And for some reason, Rico thought that about 30 seconds of this song would be the perfect default sound to play every time a message came in.
I approve of Rico. I do.
So we would be, and the thing is that someone like me, I have all my computer sounds going to my headphones and out to the mix. Whereas like Damon, he would have his computer sounds only in his headphones, so that he would hear Jaws reading to him, and the listening audience doesn't. And so he would get the alert, and he would set a more reasonable sound for the alert. But I would leave the default sound and uncheck the box, but the box would check itself every time I signed into the app. So usually the first time someone wrote into a show, everyone would know it, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just hear this very loud...
Don't you know that the bird, well, everybody knows that the bird is a bird.
And I would have to turn it
We
off.
got the idea.
It was awesome. It was great.
It's kind of like the story I was going to start to tell at the beginning of the show, but we kept going off on different tangents, where every week the audience would know when my Avast antivirus was updated, because there was an audible alert that would play every week during my show.
Avast antivirus is up to date.
Yeah. And it was on a weekly
okay.
schedule.
So, should we go back to that topic about antivirus? We talked about Norton, how it sucks. AVT, how it sucks. Do you use the Avanti?
I just use Windows Defender.
You know what? At this point, Microsoft has gotten on the ball
They're pretty good.
about protecting their OS. And
Once in a while, install Malwarebytes, run a Malwarebyte scan. I use Super A spyware. That one's free. I don't really care about that, but I don't run it very often.
Let me tell you, I mean, when I was working at Tharco, it was like a weekly occurrence. Usually some dipshit in Austin, Texas would infect their computer with a shit ton of viruses, and I'd spend like an hour trying to clean it up. And half the time, I'd basically say, I'm sorry, I can't clean this. You're going to have to ship this computer to me to wipe it and reimage it, and you're going to have to use something else in the meantime. There was a period of time where it seemed like every few days some dipshit in Austin was borking
Gators,
their
did you
computer.
ever get a Texas version of Bonsai Buddy?
No. Is that like a purple dude with a gun?
He's got a 10-gallon hat. No, there was a guy that would bring me his computer, and I said, okay, I'll fix it once. And then he just kept bringing it to me. I'm looking, and every time he had Bonsai Buddy on it. That was his friend. That was his favorite thing on there. It's like, that's his friend. So I'd clean on the malware, and do all this other crap, clean it up. And he'd get it back, and he'd come back a week later. My little purple guy is gone. Where'd he go? And he's like, well, I got him back, though, because I found him, and I clicked on it, and I got him back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Finally, I just said, you know what? That little purple guy is telling all your secrets to the government.
We found the virus, and it's you.
Yeah,
you keep putting the virus on your.
Yeah, he goes to the website and installs it, Gators, on purpose. And I go, you know, Bonsai Buddy, he may look cute. He is selling all your secrets to the government. And he looks at me, and goes, "You're joking, right?" I go, "No, I am not." He goes, "Oh my God." And next week he'd come back with the purple guy back on there again. No, he wasn't doing that. He's fine. He's my buddy. And I'm like, oh my God.
I asked him. He said that he's not.
Yeah, this guy was crazy. He probably did. He was not. He had a couple screws loose. He really did.
Yeah. Well, no, but I got to say that, Microsoft realized that they were falling behind in the world of security.
Of course they were.
And they stepped up, and I tell you, you install Windows, it comes with Defender, it comes with things set up to automatically
but that's
scan
not
and
by
check.
default. That's not set up though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Totally.
Oh,
is.
so when you go to Norton, it just overrides it, and you're fucked.
Yeah, it disables your antivirus that Windows has and puts their stuff on. That's actually how it's meant to be. It's meant for your antivirus.
But it doesn't tell you that it defeats what you paid for.
Well, no. You're paying for Norton, right?
But it doesn't tell you when it's installing it that, oh, by the way, we're disabling Microsoft Defender.
Well, you don't need to know that.
No,
You're
Brian,
the end user.
What it
That's
does,
right.
what it does in your security center, it says you have another antivirus. Instead of using Microsoft's antivirus, we will put in the one that you generally installed, and it will do it for you.
You glance at that text, you don't read it, you click OK.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's okay. I
So another alternative, a free one would be Avast. Is that correct?
But
if
Avast
you like
is a
getting
virus.
ads every 5 seconds.
Yeah, Avast and AVG.
Well, that's what AVG does. And
That's
as
what
soon
Avast
as you
started
go,
doing.
the paid version of AVG, you can't go back. You're fucked. Oh, and by the way, the malware bytes or whatever does the same thing. They keep bugging you to buy the
Oh yeah, they're
or
horrible
now in fact it'll run out of time.
Well, that's
and you got to start paying for
Well,
it.
that's because you clicked yes when you installed it. You want to click no on that because Malwarebytes comes with a free trial of their real-time scan, but it's a trial that runs
But
out.
then it won't update anymore.
Well, Malwarebytes isn't for Malwarebytes is a run it. Malwarebytes to me is a manual scan.
Yeah,
I don't use Malwarebytes unless I intentionally
run it
want
once,
to.
then uninstall it, then run it once,
Right.
That's what you do.
Or update it, but never install the real-time version.
Yeah, but you can't get an update after that time frame.
But I will tell you, for my dad, I paid for him to have a copy of Malwarebytes. I said, I am buying you Malwarebytes because you need it, sir. And he goes, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has a real-time scanner. I don't own it myself. My dad owns it because I bought it for him.
I owned it, but then it was started interfering with AVG, So I unsubscribed to it and deleted it.
I think he has Trend Micro. I think that's the one he has.
I've got to say, I've been running just the Microsoft for years now. Never had a problem.
That's what I have.
And I've asked you before, and you never answered me.
Now, I will tell you something very interesting with my IP address right now, Gators. All my network, every computer on my network, everything goes to Japan. Right now, Google. I open Google. It's all Japanese. It's a good thing I know. I know enough Japanese to get to the English button.
Oh,
that's because you're totally into anime, right?
Well, it's not only that. It's on. It's my network.
You know,
it's actually
when you watch an anime film, that's not even anime. I just learned this. It's called manga.
No, sir.
Manga is the printed form.
Manga is Japanese for Japanese comic books. Anime is Japanese animation, which is considered the video.
Yeah, but it's just the artwork part.
Well,
the art is anime.
Well, the video part of it, people consider anime. When you go into the comics, you consider those manga.
Wait, is Brian trying to school Mars on anime?
I guess.
I'm sort of
getting the popcorn
asking
here.
I'm trying to ask
This is as good as you and Venice with analog and digital, isn't it?
Because no one ever here used the word manga.
No.
In the United States.
It's a Japanese
call
word.
Anime.
That's
even
not
though
true.
the Japanese say you're full of shit.
No.
Well, no, manga is the book form. Anime is the
manga
animated
book
form.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the book form also, if you're going online and you're looking at what you call anime, it's also manga.
Have you Googled...
I'm pretty sure. Schitt's Creek actually talks about
Alexa, define manga.
Manga is usually defined as a Japanese graphic novel, typically intended for adults, characterized by highly stylized art.
Okay. Alexa.
And that art is anime.
Alexa, define anime. Oh God, the one in the bedroom went off. Alexa, define anime.
I have a few definitions for the noun, anime. 1. An artistic style originating in, and associated with, Japanese animation, and that has also been adopted by a comparatively low number of animated works from other countries. 2. An animated work originated in Japan, regardless of the artistic style.
Unfortunately, I could barely hear it.
Animated work, regardless of the country of origin.
Well, basically, it backed up what we were saying. Manga is the graphic novels. Anime is the animated
it's
style.
the animation.
Yeah, but
So,
you
Brian,
don't look at individual pictures, though.
Brian.
Or individual frames.
I'm not sure what point you're trying to make.
You
here,
look at the
Brian.
bigger art form, which is manga.
Okay, so when you say manga, people consider that comics. This is the nomenclature.
Okay, but that's only a piece of it.
No, wait.
No,
Yes.
a book is manga.
Yeah.
Anime is animation.
Yeah. So you can call those books anime, but they're gonna say what? It's an anime.
It's not animated.
Book. It's an anime comic book, which is named manga.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure what your point.
Let's go back to the antivirus again. What were you saying again, Mars, about?
Malwarebytes I paid for my dad. AVG. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you want to remove AVG in Avast, you have to download a uninstall tool. Did you know this?
From AVG.
I think they're from AVG or Avast. You have to actually download their tool to download it. To
or install Norton, and that gets rid of it, right?
No.
Wink, wink.
No. It won't.
Because Norton sucks. That's right.
No.
Okay, so which antivirus would you use today?
I use Windows Defender, honestly.
But
if you're a corporation, Gators, and you know this as well as I do, a corporation will probably use endpoint software.
Yeah, like our
Yeah.
corporation is using Cylance, and it's using Cyber Reason, which are two different security tools.
Oh, okay.
That kind of go. And I believe like Cyber Reason is the detection software, and Cylance is the antivirus removal software.
Yeah.
And sometimes those two pieces of software are at odds with one another. And
Oh, great.
and but our security guy intentionally chose these two different products because he felt that one did that thing better and this one did that thing better. And also he thinks that it's healthy to have two different scanners or entities being part of your security package, because if one overlooks something, the other one might have caught that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when we run into a problem where, Cylance throws up an alert about Cyber Reason or vice versa, and you complain to that entity about it, they go, well, we offer a product that does that. You could just use both of our products, and then you won't have a problem.
Are they server side? Are they server side gators? Can you run? Do they talk to your server and they do?
Oh yeah, no, it's all server, I know it's server based because, mind you. Working at the box factory is a whole different world than working for a company that deals with stuff that could be sensitive data.
Yeah.
Because at the box factory, I could set up 20 computers, turn them off, put them in a corner in a closet, and that's that. At this company, if I set up 20 computers, turn them off, and put them in a corner in the closet, in about a week, I'll have someone from the server team sending me a message asking me if I know where these 20 machines are because they haven't gotten their antivirus definitions in over a week.
Yep.
And you say, "Oh, well, I stole them."
It's like, do you have some loaners? Yeah, I have about 20 of them. Could you turn them on? All 20? Yeah. They all need to get their virus.
Hey, you know what? If they're laptops and they all have batteries, go for it.
So I have to, yeah, but most of them have dead batteries.
Oh no! See, that's the problem.
So then I gotta
have to plug them.
You have a very long power.
I had to plug them all in. I like set up like 5 power cords and turn 5 of them on at a time. All right, these 5 are up. Okay, those 5 are good. All right, these 5 are.
Yeah.
This is one of the pains of
constant communication as well. It's not like you can just say, "Okay, I'll run through them." And then when you're done with all 30 of them or whatever it is,
well, I need to get confirmation
say, okay,
from
they're
them
done.
Because I have very limited access in my role. I don't have access to all the servers. Different companies treat help desk differently. My last job, I had access to a lot of things. This job, there are things that I'm still asking for access for every now and then, and I've gotten more because I'm kind of pushing the boundaries of what this company's help desk traditionally did, because I have the abilities.
And honestly, in any help desk job or any job like yours, you know what, you're going to end up with a little more security than you do, especially as you keep going, because more and more things will come up. Oh, he needs access to this, but you need access to this between you do this. Okay,
right.
We'll give you this. And it's just how a job goes.
But it's interesting. Like, one of the big differences that it took me a while to get used to is when we were in the office, if you set up spare computers, you had to leave them powered on in the storage room because there's a long table, and so all the spare computers would sit in there powered on, so they'd all get their updates. Whereas in the past, whenever I set up spare machines, I wasn't leaving 10 spare machines plugged in.
Yeah, you didn't have in fact, did you have a plug in the storage room?
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't store them in the storage room. I'd store them in a cabinet near my desk, and then that way, if I needed a spare computer,
which is not exactly convenient,
I'd
to have them powered up.
Right. So now, that was like a difference. Like, what do you mean I can't just like build machines and put them in a shelf over there? Like, no, that needs to be powered on so it gets its updates, or someone's or so and so's going to ask you about that machine or delete it from AD. And because they
and we don't care if it uses a lot of energy.
Right. Well,
they're laptops, so they use minimal
security
energy.
Is that important that they need to be on top of knowing.
Yeah, but
where every machine
you had the computer set up also to look for aliens, or do some Bitcoin mining, right?
Bitcoin mining, yeah, that is. Let me tell you, I know someone who knows someone who might have gotten fired from a job for setting up Bitcoin mining machines in the server room.
Well, it was on the server, right?
Let me tell you, the entity that discovered this. We're very excited about this because this was a precedent-setting legal case.
All right.
But I don't know much about the details about that. But I do know that we have reached the end of another thrilling edition. Of
What?
Insert title
I
here.
had a lot more interruptions to do.
Well, that's okay. Mars is going to interrupt.
Thanks, Mars.
You know what? I'm very excited. Isn't this also the thing for Dollar Bin Special?
No, Dollar Bin Special was the holiday for strings, but close enough.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Oh, what did I learn?
Well,
Brian learned about morning wood in a hole. That's what I learned about.
morning wood in a hole.
Yeah, and that means he's doing it right.
I'll go with that.
What did Brian learn?
That Windows Defender is good in spite of the fact of this whole scandal with what the fuck is the guy's name? Is he the pedophile trafficker or whatever?
Oh, Jim Norton or whatever his name is.
No,
the
Eisenberg.
McAfee guy.
No, no. No, that's a different antivirus that we did not talk to because that founder is in trouble for
Everything.
the shit that he did.
Yeah, everything.
But no. The guy that allegedly committed suicide in jail.
Oh,
Not
that guy.
Antivirus?
What?
Over an antivirus?
No. Over trafficking, human trafficking,
Oh. Okay.
as they call it.
Oh, that's horrible.
What was that?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
There you go. See, and then you got Bill Gates that is implicated with
Did you
being
hear?
friendly with him.
Well, did you also hear the new thing about Bill Gates? Did you know 20 years ago apparently he had an affair?
With a coworker, whatever.
I was like, wow.
Consider,
See,
yeah.
there's all this stuff coming out.
But
I-
that's
shit.
a lot of he said, she said.
I think-
Everyone.
I heard it on CBS this morning.
But isn't most of the Me Too movement based on he said, she said?
Well,
basically,
I'm not trying to discredit it. I'm just saying.
People are reporting that Bill Gates may have invited a coworker to dinner in an email and said, if this makes you uncomfortable, just ignore it, type of thing. And the thing is what's the source of that? Someone said this, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, but it's like, where were these
But
stories?
did this person go through with the invitation?
I don't know. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of gossipy stuff that's just coming out right now in the wake of this divorce that's kind of blindsided everyone out of nowhere.
Which actually is based on the Eisenstein. What's the guy's name again? Jeffrey
Epstein. Which
Epstein. Brian Epstein, right? Brian Epstein. I thought he was dead.
Jeffrey.
Sorry.
Whatever. But I kind of feel like, isn't it kind of a private affair? Why does everyone and their mother want to start saying,
exactly.
well, Bill did this, well, so and so did that?
Yeah, that's
it's a family thing. That's the
and
thing.
I
That's a
agree with
family
that.
thing. Yeah.
Now the
Who
Epstein
fucking
thing
cares?
is not if that was a criminal thing.
Yeah, but I somehow doubt. Now I don't know Bill Gates. Don't know nothing about the guy.
What? You don't know him?
But I think it's certainly possible to be friends with someone and not know their deep, dark secrets.
But Gators, didn't you invite him to a show a couple times?
We would still have him on the show, right?
Bill Gates is still invited to this show.
Okay.
And now OX64 says because Bill Gates is evil and we want him gone. And be that as I don't know, Bill Gates, I mean, he gave us Windows XP, but he also gave us Windows 95. So, you gotta
Hey, that was the beginning of the start menu. You have to start somewhere.
He gave
everything they start with is never perfect.
He gave us.
I agree. He also gave us Vista, which sucked. we need that apology.
He gave us Vista. He gave us ME.
Windows 98
Yeah.
and ME, and or the Windows 98 SE, and then
That was a good
ME
version.
to whatever.
That was a good version of 98.
Anyways, we're gonna raid Pineapple.
I thought it was
Hoops.
the Sucky Vision.
Wait,
Sucky
wait, we're Pineapple Loops. Who's Pineapple Loops?
Pineapple Hoops. Well, she
What?
yeah, Pineapple Hoops. Well, she likes pineapples. She does hula hoop, although right now she's kind of like waving around flaggy type things while dancing around.
Oh.
And she's really entertaining to watch. And
Does she have an inflatable banana?
she might, but she's not
What?
using it. We'll talk about that next week. Now, OX64 writing in. I do know he invented an operating system that tracks how many times I fart a day, and along with Mark, Jack, and all the other dipshits who track every move, all big tech gotta go. And OX64 also agreeing Pineapple Hoops is awesome. Yes, she is, and she's dancing all kinds of fun dances right now.
Oh,
so
cool.
we're gonna raid her, and we're gonna all say hi to her. Thank you everyone for listening, and
Cool.
you all have a pleasant good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Everyone have a good evening.
All right, and we've raided
Oh,
with a
she's
party of
dancing
2.
Oh, she's dancing.
Two?
Fancy.
Yeah,
Oh, did other people leave?
I guess so. I think Sparky
Oh.
Toaster gave us, and I think Dune left.
Welcome.
I think Dune left when we said Trump, but.
Well, dude,
Did we say
maybe
Trump?
they're having. Maybe he was gonna make another steak
Well,
downstairs.
When I was talking about the conspiracy theory things, I mentioned the whole QAnon thinks Trump is gonna, arrest all the liberals, which had nothing to do with Trump because I don't know. I don't think he left on that.
I'm performing on his channel right now, and he's
What?
playing music for us right now.
Who is?
She's
Be sure to
got
go give him a
Justin
follow.
Carter music
Show him some love.
Oh, nice.
And
streaming
tell
on
him
her
you're from
channel.
us.
So that's
from our
cool. We
channel.
get music and dancing.
Wow.
Followers only chat. I guess I have to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll catch you later. And
Talk to you guys later.
right.
I'm making
Good night.
teriyaki chicken. I'll have a good night tonight.
sounds good.
All right. Hey, that sounds great. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
smells
Bye, guys.
smells great if we had
Good night.
smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
bye.
Well, it hasn't been made yet. See ya.
Okay.